Hello, 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 and welcome to Emerald Thoth with me, Mark, out in the woods today to get another reading for you all out there. No messages coming straight to mind, but I'm going to take a read from advice from your ancestors today. So I'm going to use Secrets of the Ancestors, and we will see what comes up and what advice just comes through. We'll leave the channel open for any ancestral guidance for anybody tapping into this reading to get more information. So please, ancestor guides, spirit source, universe, oneness of all, please can we get some cards to help the viewer today. Okay. So there are two cards that have come out. Let's get another card, please, spirit. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck is Root of Fire, Risk It All, suggesting that you're ready to move forward. You're ready to move forward with creative endeavour, with passion, with entrepreneurism, with a bit of red fiery energy. Yeah, there's a confident look on this woman's face. So your ancestors are saying, you know, move forward. Whatever you're looking for is going to work out for you. It's going to bloom like the sash. It's quite a kind of Queen of Wands energy, even though it's the Page of Wands here, but it's giving a sense of taking risk, of making moves, of doing things more aligned, maybe more out of your comfort zone than you're used to, but you're being supported through your ancestral guides and through the universe. So the cards that have come out initially is Root of Earth, Inspired Action. Again, more kind of joy in here, moving forward in more practical steps. So if we put these two together, you kind of get a movement of your passions with practical steps. It's more aligned action is what this says. And then after that is the Father of Earth, generosity. So it's moving towards. This is, that fire in the earth suits. You're moving towards abundance and generosity, a more embodied sense of these aligned steps. So yeah, it says inspired action, and this is that kind of inspiration. It's saying for you to kind of go for it, your ancestors, whatever is kind of sparking your passions or your souls or your dreams at this moment, is to look at the practical aligned steps that you can take and to go with it. And then this may be a creative endeavour, because we've got creature of expression, creative expression on this. A creature of water, creative expression, excuse me. So it's movement on here as well. This is the Knight of Cups, but it's saying moving forward with those creative endeavours with you. What stirs your waters? What do you feel passionate about? What do you feel emotive about? What gets you going? What feels like it fills your cup? What do you like creating? What do you like pouring yourself into that you get a sense of enjoyment from, and you think other people enjoy as well? And to go with that, to move with that. It's quite a graceful look on this kind of lady's face, and it's saying, you move with that grace, you move with that flow of whatever sparks your creativity. And then we have miracles in motion, and this is the ultimate kind of form of expression. The divine feminine is very creative, is very expressive, very embodied in the emotions in this sense as well. Yeah, I mean, miracles in motion, the planets are aligned, you're stepping into this divine feminine creativity and expressing it and grounding it and rooting it. And also it's saying that the Divine Mother, that you're cherished and you're held as you do this. Any fears or anxiety that you have, give it up to the universe, and particularly give it up to Divine Mother. You might think of any ancestral mother figures that you have, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. They may be supporting you from the other side, and they are. Sometimes think what they would look at you like. What eyes do they look at you through? They look at you with unconditional loving eyes. Whatever failures that you make, and even if in real life or in 3D life, really real life, but even in this material life, when they're around, if they weren't so nice to you, you'd still know they have love. Not everybody's able to express love, and not everybody's able to express love in a healthy way. That's not to accept any distorted versions of love. You should not. You should set boundaries, and you should stay away from it. But you should also be in enough of vibration, have enough for yourself and compassion for yourself to say that person just didn't know how to express that love. Even if they were older, more responsible than me, they didn't know how to do it, and they weren't doing it in the right way. But if they're guiding you from the other side, then they will be doing it in a higher 5D, more divinely, more higher vibrational way. And if they did do it on this earth, then you've got something nice to remember as well, on top of knowing and feeling that they are divinely guiding you. They are helping you with these miracles and motions. They're moving you towards that guidance. You just have to be in tune and aligned with that to really let it come through and to hear it. Let's take some Astro Matrix Tarot cards as well to go with these. Ten of Cups stands out on the bottom, but I'm going to give space to see what comes through. Spirit, get cards. Ooh, violent. Violent. I'm going to take these two cards that are left. The Six of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So they want to say that your love, look, we're pouring into you. If you feel empty at the moment and you feel like you can't give that creative expression, we're pouring into you. Just receive it, let it come in. This can talk about past lives, love. Again, that's a theme that's coming through. It may be somebody that you've known. They may be in this life. They may be around your age. Or it may be, I'm sensing a matriarchal figure. It could be patriarchal for you, but I'm sensing a matriarchal figure that's guiding you and saying that you're loved and go express yourself. Especially as we've got this mother card here, and we've got this creature of water as well, which is feminine, but is normally a knight is depicted as masculine. Okay. What would be this kind of came out the middle. This is the Three of Swords at the bottom. So that's saying that maybe essentially you need to feel that love. You may need to feel this pouring into you. The Three of Swords is never a nice feeling. It's hurt, but it's adjustment. It's Saturn and Libra. But if you think of the Three of Swords as Saturn and Libra, it means adjustment. It means balancing your relationships. It means having discipline in your relationships, and sometimes that hurts to see the reality of it. But it's redirection. It's trying to bring in harmony in your life, which is ultimately what Libra is trying to bring, and Saturn is bringing a more material 3D discipline level to it. And that does mean sometimes setting up boundaries with people who aren't making us feel this way, who are lowering our vibration if we are trying to be, or we are in a higher vibration of love for ourselves. So the cards that have come out here. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles here, and we had the King of Pentacles just underneath the Root of Fire at the bottom of this deck. So you're embodying a sense of material abundance. You're working with your passions to a way to material abundance. Your ancestors are trying to give you that inspired action. They're trying to give you the next kind of practical step to then lead you to a King of Pentacles energy and a Queen of Pentacles energy, which is an abundant sense. This gives a more loving sense, a more emotional sense, because it's water in the suit of earth. And there's abundance all in this card. I mean, I'm not sure what's happening at the bottom of her chin. So let's just ignore that bit. But she's whole, she's full, she's the red guards with the root chakra, the rabbit that's quite peaceful, content in her energy, let's say, and the gold all around, and the grapes all around, the grapes representing the abundance. So heals up, like you're coming to a place where you can be comfortable in your material flow of life, and comfortable in where you feel more secure. That doesn't just have to be have loads of money, but feeling more secure as you feel secure enough in what you have. And I've been learning about Buddha and Maya, and the battle that Maya is the concept of illusion, but Maya is also like the demon king in Buddhism, and he sends 3 kind of daughters to distract Buddha, and those can be pretty much translated as craving, boredom, and lust / passion, but lust really. So it's saying that you want to be in that position where you're more comfortable, where you're not craving so much, where you're not bored with what you have, or you're not lustful, you're not getting caught in these moments in lust and passion. It's like, this is all I want, is just this lustful, passionate thing, or I don't have enough is the boredom, or I need something else to be happy is the craving. And it gives me a sense that Your ancestors want you to feel fruitful and abundant, and to do that, and one of the things with boredom is to be grateful and to have that gratitude for what you already have. So with the creature of water, the creative expression is the emperor. And so again, a sense of stability, a sense of empowerment, but this talks to you feeling creatively empowered, not so much in the exactly in the physical realm. I mean, he's going to relate it to the physical realm because you're watching this video in a 3D human vessel. But it's saying embodying something in a higher sense, and it's saying embodying your creative expression. It's talking about authenticity. It's talking about moving through the world authentically as you are, creating in line with the divine, and that can be the divine masculine and feminine together, the creator. Working in co-creation with the universe, embodying this kind of strength and this surety, and having these right boundaries, really. So you don't stay in that kind of Three of Swords energy, but to be in this more embodied, masculine, logical type energy with your expression, which is a very powerful thing. If we can have our expression, but we can have it in boundaries, and we can have it formed, and we can be sure of it in ourselves, then it's a case of who's that going to draw in, and how's it going to provide for others. The Emperor is about providing, protecting, nurturing, in a good sense, when you've got a good Emperor. And so this, in this sense, is kind of it's providing, and this creativity is providing a kind of emotional flow for others, and that's what that creative expression is. That's what a good Knight of Cups can do. A good Knight of Cups will allow somebody to feel loved whilst creatively expressing that to them, and it to be genuine, not to be for their own whims or for their own triggers or traumas. They're doing that so they can have a kind of look to have a reciprocal flow with someone, or to light somebody up, to inspire them emotionally. And if you can do that, then that's a great thing, but you also want to do it kind of with these boundaries, kind of in a structured way, so it has a good effect. And so I don't know how the dog found me now. But with Mother of God is 10 of Cups. I said I'd leave it back in the deck because it was at the bottom when I first shuffled, but I wanted to pop out. So the miracles in motion is coming to this harmony, is coming to a place of starting your own family. Now that can be your own creative tribe, your own creative community. That's not necessarily meaning getting married and having children, although that may be the case. And so this may be where you're being guided, that you may already be in a relationship and have children, or you may already be in a relationship looking to have children, or you may just be looking to come to a place like that. Or you're looking for a family, a creative family, a community family, and this is what these miracles and motions is guiding you is an alignment, is a divine kind of movement towards a flow of Mars in Pisces, right? So you've got a kind of fiery masculine energy and a watery energy here, and Mars in Pisces is a balance of a fiery and a watery energy. And this is what these miracles, this is where your ancestors are guiding you to feel loved and to feel a sense of community. And as you do that, you will draw in a sense of love and a sense of community that's aligned with that. And it's not to just draw that in, this is difficult, it's not just to draw that in out of a practical need, because drawing in it simply out of a practical need, it's not always highly aligned. And this is not to say, because you may know lots of people, you probably will, who are quite happily married, but they might not be an aligned marriage. And with all the options we have, and with all the things that are stripping away, thankfully, of racism and boundaries across race and following parental desires, not our own ones, and all of the ways that we can now just start to, it's obviously not a clear playing field still, but the way that we can start to remove boundaries of culture as such, if you want to call some of these things culture, or geographical distance, or passion interests. There's ways that maybe our parents, and I'm 35, so maybe people who are like in their 50s, 60s, and if you're watching this, weren't given the opportunity to do, and you can, if you are one of those older viewers, then you can give that to other people, you can give that blessing, or you can find where you are now and find a partner that reflects that back to you, or a community that reflects that back to you. And if you are younger, the younger you are, the more you can start to try and break free of those expectations and demands. Because the more aligned we are with ourselves, the more aligned we are with a higher path for the earth. It is ultimately one of the biggest things, and ultimately what our ancestors will be able to see from the other side that we can't necessarily, or it's a lot harder to do in a 3D egoic construct. And in fact, we will never, unless you're in a spirit body, then it's fair enough impossible, even for the Jesus and the Buddhas and the most enlightened in this world. But we can still move towards it, we can still look to embody it. And these miracles in motion are asking you to be that miracle in motion, to bring these communities that have this nice balance, that have this satiety, that have this divine essence, is kind of what a rainbow represents to it. And let me say, if you are on that path and you do it, that's a hard path. Your soul chose it before you came here, so it's chosen by you. But it's a hard path, because you can have a happy family, 4.2 family, 2.0 family, whichever you want, married with 2 kids kind of thing, which is exactly what this is, married with 2 kids. But if you're seeking it in higher divine alignment, it is more difficult, and your soul is probably more evolved if it's taking those lessons, because it's a more difficult path and it asks more soul evolution. And so there's no judgment on those who take a more straightforward path, and they might meet somebody at a workplace, or it's part of their culture that's brought them to that, and they find a happy enough life there. But you may be on a bigger mission than that personally, and that's no judgment on that. There's no judgment on other people's life choices, but it might be harder for you to understand that is the right path for you, that it's something harder, and there's reasons for that history that you've had. That you can also take faith in that, is that you will have divine connection and alignment with that, because you will need that. Your soul will ask for that. If you're tapping into the depths of your heart and your soul, then these ancestors and these spiritual beings can reach you. Source consciousness can reach you. That's pretty deep. Let's bring the affirmators in. So, spirit, can we get some final kind of guidance for this read? Okay. 2 at the last. Bottom of the deck, Emperor number 4. Reinforcing a kind of structure to it, reinforcing it, bring it into a masculine, reinforcing a more practical kind of embodiment of it. The yang energy is more earthly in our sense. Obviously there's a divine father sense, but we associate it more with logical action and creation and kind of left-sided brain things. But the feminine, which is right-sided brain things, is that creativity, and it's also that portal to spirit. It's most channelers, most psychics are genuinely female, because that is a more open channel. It's not to say that all of them are, of course, I'm doing it here, and there are a number of tarot readers and channelers who are male, but it gives a sense of a more divine feminine aspect if you tap into that area. This is asking to bring it into an embodiment, a structure, and a self-empowerment. So with the 2 Pentacles cards here is, I'm going to show you on the camera and see what it is, the 6 of Wands. So congratulations, little mousey. It's bringing success, it's bringing victory in a way. And this is kind of saying, as you take those steps, as you take that inspired action and those aligned steps, it will bring your soul a sense of fulfillment as well. The 6 of Wands is saying, and I think that's the Sun in Leo, it's saying, you're balancing, you're getting to a state of balance. The 6s are balanced, and so this is it's quite a nice balance to have a physical and body, to feel that more, that security, and that security brings your soul a sense of victory. Not even saying you have to be on stage. There is a sense of 6 of Wands being on stage and things but it's just coming back with a sense of fulfillment. And this is a mouse here, and it's giving a sense it doesn't have to be great, big and grand things, but for you that can be an achievement. It can be like you can hold these 2 Wands here, and victory with the other four showing. It's like your plans are coming more to a sense of fruition. And then with the creature of water and the emperor here, and some grass, is the Ace of Wands. So this is giving a sense of, with that creative expression, with that embodiment again, is that lights up something in you, that stirs your soul, that will kind of lead on to more passion. This is saying it will keep going and going with the Ace of Wands turning up. It's like, if you can embody this, if you can embody this creative expression and this inspiration that you can bring to people around you, then it can keep, it can keep sparking you, it can keep lighting you up, you can keep doing it. You can be a torch, you can be an inspiration for others. And then with the Ten of Cups and the Mother God, Miracles in Motion card, is the Three of Swords, which is affirming what's at the bottom of this deck, and the Knight of Pentacles. So it's saying move regardless, take action regardless. It's saying, these poor little froggies with these poor fish, which might represent the rivers and oceans that we live in, sadly, in the modern age, because of a disconnection with nature and the divine feminine. But that's a story I'll come to another day. This is talking about that disappointment. This is saying you might not so much believe in this. You might feel at this moment in time that this isn't here and it's not for you and it's not coming. But your divine mother, the divine mother, and any divine mothers that relate to you and you think of them, that speak to your heart, saying yes, this is why they've got two cards with this rather than just this one, because it's saying take action regardless, move towards it regardless. Inspired action, Page of Pentacles, feeling secure and embodied and secure in your emotions, the Queen of Pentacles, feeling generous and secure and stable and able to provide, King of Pentacles. And over this kind of heartache and feeling of not enough and feeling of pain and sorrow, action. Knight of Pentacles, stick at it, keep moving at it, keep believing in it, keep building it. It's interesting when I get a Three of Swords and then I get this Knight of Pentacles, because he's got a sword in his hand. He's moving forward with clarity. I don't know any other Knight of Pentacles cards that have a sword in the hand. But this kind of beaver, and beavers, they're working, they work on the dam, they work at things, there's persistent working, which is where this Knight of Pentacles is coming from. Look, one sword is showing here. Is pick up the sword you need and pick up the clarity you need and move forward, because there is a Ten of Cups, community, family for you. You're being divinely guided by this divine kind of mother. This is where a point where you can show off like the Six of Wands energy. But and it's coming from the stars, it's coming from the heavens, Ace of Wands. But you just need to keep persisting, right? You just need to keep feeling in your body, and the yellow is going to be that solar plexus energy, that empowerment, again, a lot like the Emperor, that you have it within you. It's this eagle, seeing from a higher perspective. That you have it within you to see it from that higher perspective and to keep taking actions, to keep believing in yourself and keep feeling that love that you have, because there is a place for you. There is a place. It reminds me of a song, This Must Be the Place. I think it's by Huey Lewis and the News. But it's saying, keep going and you'll find that place. That was from a show called, it's from the 70s or 80s, but it's in a show called Umbrella Academy. And they have a sense of community and family, and these very different beings in a very awkward and dysfunctional family. But the point is, it's their family. And the point is there may be a soul-aligned family for you. As when I was saying earlier that you might not find it in your immediate family, you might not find it for you in immediate sense in the world, because if you're tuned into this reading, you're going through things and you're seeking things and you're being drawn, and your soul has drawn up a plan that isn't a straightforward one. But the good news is that you have people out there who fit. The good news is you're going through those obstacles to find something greater, and the good news is you can tap into divine guidance and spiritual beings and others who've passed on to the other side, ancestors who've passed on to the other side, not just going back to your grandparents, but further into your lineages, into your soul lineages, which is not necessarily your family bloodline, that are going to help you move. They're going to help you take aligned action. They'll help give you clarity and help give you the next steps. So believe in them, reach in them, believe in yourself, and then those people can come in, those messages can come in, and just feel what's in your soul, feel what's in the depth of your soul, and go with it, run with it, like this little mouse. And if nobody else says this to you, and you can't hear it from your ancestors because they're channeling from me and I'm saying it to you now, we believe in you. We love you unconditionally and eternally, and we're here to help you. When you feel like there's nobody else, know there is, and feel it in your heart, and we will come. And keep taking the steps because we believe in you. And what's on the other side is so magical and brilliant that you just can't even know right now. If we let you know, you wouldn't take the next steps. So keep going, dear one. Namaste.